Hi, I'm Jace. I'm a music analyst, classical singer, and dancer, and I'm about to have a look at Wake Up by ATEEZ. This is the second of two videos I'm putting out this week as a thank you to all of my new viewers. It seems you guys really enjoyed my analysis with my brother. Unfortunately, he is going back on ship soon, and I won't be able to do another video with him until he's back in the country. But when he is, I will track him down and make sure to do another one. Thank you, ATINYs, for showing up. You guys have shown up in numbers, and this one is specifically for you. It is highly requested. I'm just going to have a look at Wake Up by itself for this. There have been a lot of requests for the intro, another song, and then Wake Up as a set from their Towards the Light tour, but I'm not going to do that now. I'll save that for a more in-depth video at a later point. If you haven't watched any of my other single song analysis videos that I've done for Stray Kids stuff, this one is going to be a slightly different format to the ATEEZ Killing Voice video and the Kingdom and Stage Show stuff that I did with my brother. What I'm going to do is go through the song first, listening to the audio and picking up on little interesting details in the timing, in the instruments, in the vocals, anything. And I'll point those out and mention things so that next time you listen to it, if you hadn't heard it before, when you listen to it again, you can now pick them up. And then I will have a look at lyrics and how those fit in. And after that, I will have a look at some live performances to see what they do with the staging and choreography and all of that. Right, starting with the audio and the lyrics, I do know the song, I have heard it, but I haven't listened to it particularly closely with a lot of attention. So this is the first, with headphones, listen through that I'm doing. Let's see. I'm expecting good things. Okay. First thing I usually comment on is sound space. And it's very interesting because there are two elements in the sound space of this that you pick up on immediately. One is that pitch shifting synth note, and that's very close, while the other is that that drum room tap, and that sounds like it's coming from further away and in a larger space. So it's kind of mixing two different sound spaces in one, and that's very interesting. Do you hear my voice? Set you free. That's very interesting, that little set of three voices. I go back. Do you hear my voice? Free. We start out with Songhwa's very low, do you hear my voice? And it sounds like he's put vocal fry and stuff into that. Do you hear my voice? And it's really low. Then we get San. Do you hear my voice? Set you free. Yeah, so San's thing is, I'll set you free. And he comes out with this warm, lovely sound out of that vocal fry. And then Hongjoong, very breathy, head voicey and quite a constricted pharynx. If you wanna know, it's constricted, it's quite small. And there's a lot going on in the background as well, in terms of distorted synth waves and that sort of thing. And we've got stereo stuff going on here. No, that's a lot. It goes. Nice harmonies. Got no one to blame, got no one to blame. Oh, there's so many harmonies everywhere in here. So we've got the follow me, then you'll see shouted by everyone. And then it goes a little bit crazy. That synth stuff going on in the background is a lot. Some processing on the vocals. Nice harmony in there. Wait, those song lines. He really does have such a warm quality to his voice. Somebody in the comments described it as feathery, and I get it. I would describe it as like fluffy instead of feathery, but it's the same sort of thing. It's warm and it's not quite airy or raspy, but there's some quality to it. It's just a hint of airiness and that warm roundness from having a lot of space in the back of his mouth. And even just in that little rat section, you can pick it up. And then the very raspy, gruff Mingi voice and vocals. Interesting layering and stuff there. Okay, we had some form of riser in the back there going building, 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 building to the end of Mingi's section. So you know something's going to change at the end of his section, but usually when you have a riser like that, it's building up to something bigger, and what they've done here is they cut away instead. Okay, where was I? Oh, I was talking about the build-up and the fact that they kind of subvert expectations a little bit by going into, they have that riser going and it builds and builds and builds and builds and then falls away. So instead of building to something, it ends up with this quiet, reduced sound. Lots of synth pads just sustained chords and stuff, and then the vocals with the harmony. Oh, 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 oh. Jongho's vocals are so bright. It's just such a completely different sound to Songhwa and San here. Songhwa's vocals there are really warm, and then San's falsetto is breathy and quiet, and then we have Jongho coming in with that very bright, pointy, focused sound. Da 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 dum. Because the others we've got da dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum na 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 na. It's focused really high in the face, and it's such a contrast. Woo, harmonies. Okay, let's see if we can break that out. Dum, dum, dum. So we've got that going on, but we've also got dum, hey, you can hear. So that's the prominent, the dominant note of the chord. Dum 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 dum, and it's sustained, but the chord, the harmony expands as we get in there. Dum 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 dum. Very chromatic. You can hear my voice, I know it. Dum dum. I think it'll be that. Dum 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 dum. Nice. And then we've got that that kind of mirrors what's coming in the so wake up, and it's kind of foreshadowing what's coming. And they just keep adding and adding layers. Okay. So you hear how Jongho's voice just seems to cut through everything? That's that bright, sharp sound. Such forward placement. The way that ends is really interesting, because it changes quite abruptly into that da 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 dum da 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 dum dum dum, and you kind of expect it to keep going melodically and kind of lyrically, as it, not lyrically, legato in like flowing, and it doesn't do that. Ooh, that's fun. That whispered, I know it, and then Hongjoong's, blah, blah, Hongjoong's giggle in there as well. Okay. So that happened. I forgot that that was in here. Where is he breathing? Okay. Only there before falling out. Interesting kind of sounds. He's making that ow noise. He does a lot of interesting sounds on his vowels and consonants when he's rapping. He likes to make funny noises, but yeah. Ooh, nice harmonies in there. Ooh, Jongho in the background. There are so many layers to the harmonies in here. That's an F. That bass. Hang on. There is so much going on in that end bit. Okay, wait. Back a long way. Very different sound in the backtrack to what we've had in the rest of the song here, but it's the bridge, so you expect it to be different. Lovely harmonies and stuff building in there. and just that yelled, chanted bit there. So not that the other bit isn't chanted, it's just more of a, this is more of a crowd chant, so just everybody yelling, and I can just imagine people in a stadium, just the whole crowd yelling that. That must be insane. But yeah, the beginning, the earlier sections of that are also chanted, but that's more similar to like the Gregorian chant type stuff, where you have everybody on their different pitches and everybody shifts around, but they have the words on like the same places. It's basically sung speech, a little bit like recitative and stuff that you get in opera. And then this is just shouting. Dum da 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 dum. So we've got that main note chanted on an F. Dum 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 dum. And then dum dum dum. So we've got an F and a C. Ooh, very chromatic. So we've got a B flat, C natural, C sharp, D sharp, and F. That's really interesting. And it goes down towards the end. That's so cool. Okay. Haha. That was amazing. I'm going to go through that one more time specifically so that I can look at the lyrics, and then we will move on to stage performances. Do you hear my voice? Let's set you free. Ah, I got distracted by listening to the music and I didn't look at the words. Tempo. Music words. Tempo is the speed of the music. So that whole thing about you can hear my voice in your unconscious, and then they've got this chanted, almost hypnotizing section here with that harmony. Dum 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 dum. They've got that one chanted note that stays constant throughout the thing, and then everything else is moving around it. There's just something about a drone or a held note when everything else is moving around it, and you get the most wonderful clashes and harmonies and stuff. Ah. And then we've got all of the extra harmonies being added on that section. I'm getting distracted again. Oh, that guitar going in the background is dum 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 dum. There's more to hear every time you listen to it. Wait, words again. And the hypnosis, there we go. And again, then again with that kind of hypnotic sound. And then Hongjoong's chaos. Well, chaos, it's not chaos. Crazy, it's just high flowing. Okay, wait, what were the words? I think there's a typo there. That la li la. It sounds more to me like la di da. Dissonance. I was talking about clashes before in there, and clashes are also their dissonant sounds. And then he was talking about chaos, and I called his section chaos. In the lost senses, I know it's confusing. Yeah, there's so much going on here that it's kind of difficult to follow. I love when the music and the lyrics work together. That guitar in the background there makes me think of Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train a little bit. This one doesn't quite move around as much, but that just consistent strumming and dum 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 dee dum 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 dee dum dee 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 dee, something like that. I would have to listen to it more closely to work it out. Oh, that's interesting. In that section, I mean, when they're doing that in the studio, I would expect that they're really close to the mic because it sounds like it, but it's really soft as well. Yeah, so we're picking up mouth noise, that stuff, which really does make it sound like they're whispering in your ear. That's amazing. I am going to admit now to having seen either some or all of this, but I don't remember all of it. I just know that it's yeah, it belongs with Red Lights and such from the Stray Kids side. Maybe, yeah. Let's leave it with that. Okay, very clever there with the backup dancers creating a mirror from that red fabric elastic stretchy thing. It makes me think of a TheraBand that you use for exercise and stretching. Okay, stretchy, so they're definitely elastic of some sort. The green and red again, similar to in their bouncy stuff, they've got green light and then the red bands, and they're all in black. So something that I have a bit of a thing about with a lot of K-pop stages is, why do you put your artists in black if the background is also dark? Because it makes them difficult to see. Yes, when they're not meant to be in the spotlight, if they're off to the side, great. But black on a dark background disappears on stage and you can't see what's going on. So either change the background or change the clothing. Even if you just add accents or highlights, hell, even if you use a shiny fabric. So a shiny fabric will still reflect the light and you can see how they're moving, but these guys are in velvet by the looks of that, which is very hot and quite heavy and must be an absolute pain on stage. It almost looks like a dark purple, but near enough to black that it's disappearing into the background. So those red bits are either elastic bands or an elasticy fabric like lycra. Interactive choreo. Wait. Okay. That's fun. Okay, wait. Back to the interactive choreo. I really like the combination of steps in there that they've got where they're both doing the same thing. So they're kind of mirroring each other, they're copying each other, but then it shifts and they're doing something different as well. It's really well put together. So we've got that mirrored porte de bras thing, then they both have that little body roll, then we've got the interactive arm linking stuff, which is nice. And then kind of mirroring each other again. So choreo. We have props. Okay. Okay, trying to get fabric to behave how you want it to takes a lot of practice. So they're tossing it up and catching it. And they need to be, I think, no, they've got time to adjust it. So they don't need to toss it and catch it in a specific place. But like a little bit of wind or something, and that fabric is going to go somewhere else. And that's a risk. Other thing that's difficult with fabric is to get it all to move at the same time in the same way. I've done a lot of work with flags and poi and things like that, and trying to get all of the flags to move in the same way and flutter the same way is a trick. It's doable, but it takes a lot of work. ATEEZ does a lot more sexy dancing than Stray Kids does. Body rolls and stuff wise. That specifically takes a hell of a lot of body control and balance. Specifically when, so they start with the body roll, but then they roll the pelvis forward, and to do that, it looks like they go up on their toes. And balancing when you're squatted that low on your toes is tricky. Yeah, you can't see the toes there. Lights and pyro are going. And as my brother was talking about, that'll all be pre-programmed so that it goes off at the right time. The way those red bits snap out. That's the other thing. If you're using fabric on stage, you want to be very careful about how stretchy it is. If you've got something very elastic like that, it can stretch and bend with people, but you also run the risk of it smacking into somebody. And then you have the other option where you don't have stretchy fabric, and getting it off stage can be a little bit of a trick because somebody has to let go of one of the ends, particularly if it's a long piece. And with a stretchy piece of fabric, if you stretch it and let go of one end, it'll shoot itself off the stage. Whereas if you have a piece that's not stretchy, somebody has to pull it to get it to where they want to go. And I noticed there with the black, with the red fabric after this section, there, they stretch it and let go and shoots out of the way. Why are you breathing? Let's go and watch that again. Nice, that's another thing that you can do with elastics. Wrap them around people. And I have seen performances where they don't get that gripping of the fabric quite right. Ooh, that was nice. Wait. That camera work matching Wooyoung and Yunho so precisely. So we have the flash of the lights change and switch people. Really cool. Actually, I want to go back a little bit to the wake up from earlier. Just watching Jongho, because even though he's not dancing as intensely as the others, he is still dancing. And his voice just does not budge. I'm just not going to skip back to the beginning of this. Mindful. Wait. What does he do with that there? That little hand thing is interesting. So that reminds me of nothing so much as a tortoise eating something. If you put something that a tortoise really likes in front of their face, they kind of look at it, go. So he's wrapping it around his hand. So Jongho with that wake up, he does a big squat bend thing, going up to that high note, both in the previous section of wake ups and in this one, and that's a little trick, I suppose, to help him get that note out as powerfully and consistently as he's doing it. Often on stage, you'll see people taking power stances or moving their arms or their legs or something in a particular way. And a lot of the time, it's to help them activate their breath support. Nice. Having that green footlight coming up at them from the edges of the stage and illuminating just their faces, it's really cool. Whee! Hang on. Yeah, you can hear his feet landing. That's cool. we've got another angle, and it's a fan video, fan cam thing. So hopefully we will get a better overview of the whole stage. Something that I'm not such a fan of is all of the cuts between sections, because then you can't see what's going on, and I like to see what's going on. Very good view of that mirrored thing there. Ooh, there, that's almost interesting. They've got that elbows out move, which could almost be breaking the mirror and allowing who's at the back. Oh, no. To come through. Crept behind everybody. Nice timing. Oh, somebody dropped a TheraBand. And you can see all the spike marks on the stage as well. Someone will either pick that up or pick it off. Nice. I love the movement. I love the movement of the different formations. Wait. Ah, it's in his pocket. Okay, I was wondering where they were getting the bits from. Whether they were off stage or yeah, pockets. Okay, they don't roll up onto their toes, which is one of the things that I was wanting to see. But even so, balancing that deep of a squat with the legs that wide. Some of them have got some pretty impressive heels on those shoes, almost like men's Latin dancing shoes. So Latin and ballroom shoes are suede underneath, and the heel height differs for men and women depending on whether you're dancing ballroom or Latin. Ballroom tends to have a lower heel, Latin tends to have a higher heel, and it's something that the guys have to get used to when they start doing competitive stuff and have to wear the proper shoes instead of just dancing in tackies or sneakers or whatever they practice in. Is the heels, and these guys are doing pretty well. Those shoes are probably really well made, to be fair. Wait, where is he? Ah, okay. So we go, everybody is dancing, and Hongjoong, okay, he's there, off stage. So he's not doing the hectic dance stuff there. He has time to get up onto the table, slide on the tabletop a little bit, and catch his breath, because this section that he is going to do now needs a lot of breath, support, and control. And if he'd just been dancing as crazily as that with the heavy breathing that comes from it, that would be tricky. So he gets a little bit of time to control his breathing and get into the right space to be able to do that, frankly, extremely impressive set of rap lines. Like the task screen going into it as well. Wait, tablecloth. dancing on fabric on top of a table thing like that. When he got up there, it looked slippery. He must have done a lot of practicing with that because, yeah, tablecloths are slippery, and you don't want to fall, especially if you're doing a spin like that, because ow. There we go. This is the performance where he doesn't get the. Oh, I like that. Okay, so that's something we didn't get to see, is that the two sides are mirroring each other at slightly different times. Nice. Wait. That was very Latin dance feeling. I like that. Great, and what is he doing? That little wrap around the hands thing is really cool. Everybody interacting with the different lines, being almost like a laser system. Nice, and footlights again. And set change going on in the back at the same time. And then switch to completely red light. Nice. I don't really have much to say outside of what I have already said in the bits and pieces. I would rather make a comment as I notice it in the video rather than trying to remember everything at the end, because I will forget. Please let me know what other ATEEZ bits and pieces you want me to do and what format of videos you are particularly interested in, because I am more than happy to do audio breakdowns separately as their own thing, and then stage and choreography breakdowns separately as their own thing, instead of kind of merging the two for one song, or I can keep them both in one video as we've done with this one. Yeah, vocal breakdown, staging and choreography, behind the scenes stuff. I am happy to look at it all, so tell me what you want. Right, that is that for me for today. So bye, see you next time.